everybody, and welcome to the SCL Qualifiers North American style. My name is Fdot.
I'm also Fdot.
I am Fdot.
I was gonna yell double un, but my heart wasn't in it. Like I don't know.
I'm Brandon today. His heart's just not into it.
Hey, I
look at
am Fdot.
Everybody's Fdot.
Hey.
SCL Qualifiers North American style. We have been interesting as far as the open bracket is concerned. We're here in week number 3. Eager has rained hell over their opponents the past 2 weeks, and here they are trying to sneak their way into the finals one more time.
Noble Esports has been notably very quiet. I expected a lot more of them,
Same.
given that all-star lineup. But Eager and Cog will continue their rivalry today, as I assume Eager's looking for a clean win once again.
Yeah, Cog, the team with some recognizable names as far as Paul is concerned, and Eager, a lot of the guys on that squad, we'll be seeing them in a little bit. And these guys, the team, Eager has really run sort of last year's MLG, UMG sort of Ring of Lands, and coming here into the open bracket, really not a surprise at all how well they've been playing.
I'm going to expect Eager takes this game in under 35.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be pretty quick. Their talent level seems to be pretty much the same. I think the skill ceiling even on Cog is higher, but their chemistry never seems to match up. They're always going for different things. They're playing different games, where Eager seems more of a cohesive unit.
I'll agree with that. When you take a look at Cog, it tends to be a lot of the spotlight and a lot of the gameplay is given out by Paul, the hunter.
Yeah.
Paul does a lot of the work, and then there's some of it coming out of the solo lane from Stormy, words as weapons on PC. So there's a little bit of this and that, but as a whole, like you said, Eager just winds up pulling off the Voltron a little bit better.
Dude, Words was a cool name.
It was.
Stormy is not a cool name.
Stormy's all right.
It's a fine name.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. It brings up awesome stuff. He should stream. All players should stream. If he starts up a stream, all of a sudden, late night stream is dark and stormy. That's awesome. Come on.
That's pretty cool.
Picks and bans, game number 1, semifinals, SCL Qualifiers. Eager on the left with the first pick. Cognitive get the second. And, of course, we've got our bans coming out. What do you expect to see here, Brandon? Anything come to mind immediately that you want to see off?
I mean, hunters. Really, I mean, taking shots at AirCougar is
That
probably
counts.
the best bet. I really want to see Cognitive take away Hou-Yi to start. Maybe even Medusa. But they're going to go for Guan. Guan's pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, Guan is problematic on both platforms. When it comes down to it, I mean, I called him. He's sort of like an Uzzy of healing as opposed to like a big burst. And when it comes to these extended team fights, that really winds up being more powerful in a sense, mainly because he's hard to kill. Odin also taken off the table. Odin usually left when Guan is banned. So interesting choice as Khepri goes to Eager. I don't know if anybody wanted that one.
A 50-50 run Khepri had in the last set. Remember, Xbox is one patch behind, so Khepri is in a much better state as he has, I think, 50 higher health to start the game. Cognitive Gaming to answer here. It's going to be a Vamana, given that Odin is banned, to get the game started.
Starting things off right in the solo lane, and then Zeus, if you will.
Zeus
will be your mid laner, most likely.
Team Eager now wants to avoid Soul. Actually, I'm sorry, Soul is banned. So, still, they want a more mobile team to deal with Vamana. Kuang going to be picked up.
I like that.
Decent damage, good control. Did they need it yet? I don't know. I don't think it was going to be picked up by Cog. Or actually, no, you're right. It would have been picked up by Cog.
Yes, it's
100%.
the absolute protection. The execute goes right on through a Khepri ultimate. So you take the out Kuang. Not only does it protect you from people getting rid of the Khepri ultimate, but also out Kuang has the capability to kill Vamana. He's magical jungler. That whole conversation. Isis, no surprise, as the party monkey is selected for Cognitive Gaming's jungle.
I'm back into the ban phase. Cognitive have a few things that they're going to want to hit here, but I still say start taking shots at those hunters. I would say Medusa and Hou-Yi were the characters that I would want to take off the most.
Yeah, and we're going to see Hou-Yi, so definitely looking right at Mr. Astro, or AirCougar, excuse me.
He can be Astro.
No, he can only be Astro squared. He's not
true.
Astro. Of course, sorry, we're referencing his old name back on PC before he was the Cougar in the Sky. Tier banned out, so not all looking at AirCougar. Taking a look at the solo lane as well.
Athena going to be taken away, not a surprise. We have Khepri, Athena, Geb, all taken by Eager. Going to put Cognitive Gaming in a weirder spot, looking for their support with Guan already taken as well. So they're going to have to go to a mid-tier support if they're going to want to get this game done.
Which, when you start looking at them,
Yeah,
Sobek
Sobek.
is the choice, so aggressive. When you get down here, you can start looking at Sobek or Bacchus if you want to be aggressive, and Geb, Sylvanas, options if you want to be a little bit more defensive. We've seen some Sylvanas play on Xbox as well, so definitely not a choice that players want to stay away from. But
Wow.
as we talk about how picks are sort of universal between the consoles, or the platforms rather, Xbalanque is the one that sticks out as Xbox specific. Why do you think that is?
Usually because it's a little bit easier to hit your shots on Xbox as an ADC. You don't ever really have to fling the camera super hard like you would on PC when people are making crazy dashes and
Right.
such. So Xbalanque winds up being pretty good because it's a much higher ratio of being able to not be dodged. Ravana going to be picked up for a frontline, a character who has been strangely missing throughout this season.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. He's had some adjustments. He's had some turnarounds. We've seen him in the SPL maybe once or twice.
Yep.
But on the console side of things, not so much. Whereas this is a character, like I said, a lot of the characters are, well, Hebo.
Whoa, okay. Habwa going to be taken. That's curious with this comp. But then again, I mean, like, who's killing him?
Sure. I mean, now Kuang, but he's going to get killed himself
Yeah.
when you think about it from a distance.
And remember, Atlas of the Yellow River is slow immunity for the team, so Ravana gets pretty hurt. Who is Delta Marine 72?
Salty War Machine. So
Might be.
interesting choice from Cognitive to go two extremely glass cannon mages. Not just the Zeus, but also the Habwa. These are characters that, I mean, people have chosen these characters when they have a composition built all the way around them. To have two on the same team is interesting, to say the least.
I like the Vamana pick most of all, I think. Uzzy's ability to get to the back line against his team is very high. Isis is not a character that you really want against Vamana. The rushdown potential is massive.
I am just concerned for Cognitive about the lack of peel outside of Stormy.
Yeah, let's look at this. Dwurst has a root. Kuang going to have a banish, I guess, but it's his ultimate. Isis has a stun and a silence. Khepri, of course, has that silence pull plus the root. And Xbalanque has technically nothing besides the slow. I mean, if someone chooses to kill this Isis is going to die.
Exactly, and both sides will suffer a little bit from the lack of peel, as we see. Myflin, that's Matheria of PC fame.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know Matheria is going to Xbox.
Matheria went along with.
So wow, it's Matheria replacing Matt Coys from the last season. That is quite an upgrade.
It's definitely a turnaround. We saw Myflin last week, definitely able to really bring the thunder as far as that's concerned. And my mistake, I said Stormy was in the solo. Stormy finds himself in the support role as Uzzy has transitioned here to play solo for Cognitive Gaming. Eager has the same lineup that they had last week with Myflin and Delta Marine.
So Stormy, you said, was Words as Weapon playing support.
Yes.
How curious. Okay. And, of course, Uzzy, who we've seen play multiple roles, mainly a solo laner, finds himself right back in it.
And Uzzy's a talented guy. Uzzy's definitely one of the better players on the side of the console scene.
Yeah.
He's performed both online and offline here at LANs.
Wait, I'm sorry. I assumed Habwa was going solo because that makes sense in my head. Pulse
yes.
ADC.
So did I.
What is this?
Are these European games by any chance? Did we have the wrong fee?
So I have done this literally one time ever. Since Jungle came out, I have done ADC Habwa once. It was supposed to be a joke. We actually won that game pretty hard. But that's my only experience with this at all.
So, I mean, we've seen the Kalis come out in the SPL recently. Sobek, he'll be fine after
Actually, that tail whip stuffed Jellys abduct.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was cute. I mean, historically speaking, with Smite, it's always interesting because different metas and different maps and different changes, etc. But we've seen Vulcan, we've seen blah, blah, blah. What about it allows you to bring something alternative into that lane?
I guess it just comes down to carry damage. I mean, can Paul get through the early game, farm safely against the Xbalanque? And I would say yes.
One of the biggest things that I'm looking at here is late game damage is not a concern. You've got a Habwa. Like you said, this guy is going to be able to carry the game no problem.
Yeah, so who do you pick? Do you try to rush down the Hobwa or try to rush down the Zeus? And how are you doing that with Fear No Evil and a baby trying to kill your mage?
I mean, you do it where, honestly, you gank wherever the monkey isn't. That's your game plan.
Yeah.
You avoid the Fear No Evil. But my question here, Brandon, is who kills the towers?
That's a real good question.
Who kills the towers?
Baby split pushes, I guess.
I mean, that's why when you take a look at Sol and Kronos, the two mages that traditionally find themselves in the hunter position, well, they are extremely adept at killing the towers. Even the Kali that was brought by Vedium and Cyclone Spin into the hunter role is adept at killing towers. That's the biggest thing. Not the biggest thing, obviously, it's all about the damage, but that's the side thing that hunters bring to the game is the ability to take down these structures. With Hobwa here, have you ever seen a Hobwa take a tower?
I mean, in solo when he's left alone for like 7 minutes.
It's like watching Hades take a boar.
Oh, man. You know what's funny is he actually cleared double boars faster than he kills single boar.
Who, Hades?
Yeah.
Because of the
detonate.
Yep. Yeah.
He loses damage. You could actually whittle them down even and kill them, I think, 1 auto attack sooner. Someone did the math.
Yep.
It's 1 auto attack sooner with double boars.
Jeez Louise. So Hades gets an unexpected nerf as far as
I'm fine with that. Nerf him.
Yeah, Hades
go back to the underworld, please.
Jerk character over here. Jerk move coming out from Jellly. He's gonna go ahead and grab Stormy.
By the way, speaking of underworlds, April 12th.
Yeah?
April 12th.
Is that when players are going to be able to get 50 gold from killing wards?
Yeah. April 12th. If you guys have not seen the splash screen when you load into the game, April 12th, there is a scary picture.
Oh, yeah, I had to close my spine. It scared me.
Oh, my God, so scary.
It was really scary. But, yeah, no, I actually, this is one of the things I do know about, and it's actually really exciting. So make sure you play. A lot of times people are like, you hear about this dev thing that was data mined? I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
It comes out, and I go, wow, look at a cool feature. And I thought they've been planning that for 3 months. I'm like, all right, man, I commentate the Pro League.
That happens sometimes. They're like, you see this skin? I'm like, no, they're not making that. Like, no, it's out. I'm like, what do you mean it's out?
Yep. We're so just like dialed into the pro scene, man.
And then it's like, oh, damn, that's really cool.
I wish I played it. Very slow-paced game, which is odd for console, honestly. North American console scene has really made themselves known by having a lot of action. I don't want to say earlier, just period. That's the end of the statement. They've been action-filled. So a slower-paced game this time around as I think the major difference is, well, we have a Xbalanque and a Hobwa here. Those are, I mean, the latest of late-game carries that you can have in the long lane.
Two of the 3 hardest carrying characters in the game. It would be those 2, and then Kali, and then after that I would say is Artemis.
Kronos is up
there, yeah, top
and
5.
Freya's irrelevant because of her lack of clear, but Freya also, definitely.
Freya in the end game is the only thing that can kill Vamana one-on-one.
I will never not mention Freya. I love Freya. So much interesting intricacy in the simplicity of that kit. Same thing with Ravana, honestly.
Yeah.
Very basic kit. He's got an immunity. He's got a dash, but still finds himself working out well.
He's not boxing a baby in the end game.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Ravana's role, it's interesting. Early game, mid game, he is a ton of damage. But as the game gets later and later, he really transitions more into a frontline character.
You know, one of the things he does so well is when he gets into that late game, he builds a Frostbound Hammer and he just tries to apply slows to everyone, just be obnoxious. But remember, I'm pretty sure that we received a change to Atlas of the Yellow River, which alters the slow immunity from Hobwa to his entire team.
Yeah, anybody that walks on the Atlas of the Yellow River is immune to slows.
That's OP.
It's strong. That said, it's strong in that corridor that we just saw Jellly come down, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in the middle of a lane or in the middle of a jungle, like a spread out area by like a Gold Fury,
But when you're slow immune, it removes the slow.
Right.
That's how the nature of slow immunes work in this game. So if you get hit by something that should slow you for a while, it's just gone.
You treat it like a threshold.
Yeah.
You just step in and step out.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Oh, both a little bit all cog, taking a lot of damage. You see Paul under half. AirCougar gets a few choice shots in there with that Transcendence.
Very few basics was required from AirCougar to really deal that damage.
Big time.
But that's the difference of Hobwa.
Not enough. And he Purification for that one. Still not going to find the kill. AirCougar's blind was good enough to force his opponent into a weird spot, and he gets out.
Now, biggest thing that AirCougar has to worry about, is just playing against a different matchup, right? As a hunter, you're just accustomed to playing against the same characters.
Flung back. Trouble here for Khepri. Probably going to have to burn his ultimate.
Too slow.
Actually, it was on cooldown. No, it was not.
Nope, just too slow. First blood go the way of Cognitive Gaming. And Delta Marine in some trouble as well. He's going to get pushed up, slowed from 2 different directions, and that is a dead Isis.
Tango down.
Uzzy Wuzzy. Credit for that one.
A kill for the baby at this stage of the game could be trouble as Stormy decides to pull up the Gold Fury, and we're going to get a pretty decent attempt here. I don't think Myflin's even going to make the attempt. Smart of him to walk away from that because there was nothing being gained.
Yeah, exactly. I like Myflin's idea here, right? If one person wanders outside, I'll get him with the single target and we'll murder him, but I am not a character that can take on 1v4, 1v5, so I'm out.
So early game, not a bad start as we see Cognitive Gaming getting a decent amount of gold there from the Gold Fury, but 2 kills for Cognitive? That's curious.
Don't forget, this is a single game.
Oh, that was all Cognitive.
Yeah.
I was very confused. I thought Eager got that.
Nope.
That Gold Fury. I got completely turned around. I thought Myflin was on Cog. He's Eager.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Myflin is on the side of Eager. Very crazy early start coming to Cognitive.
Trouble for Paul. AirCougar needs, I would say, 2 or 3 more. Poison Dart's going to help him out there with the slow, and yeah, will force out Paul's ultimate. Not in a great spot, but really there's no follow-up if he gets pulled.
Yeah. Team shows up here in the left lane as far as sport's concerned. Khepri and Sobek following each other.
You know why I got turned around there? Because with Words being new to Xbox, I could see him missing the Khepri ult. That's what it is. But Jellly, who's been doing this since the beginning?
Right.
Come on now.
There's the Fear No Evil, and Jellly finds himself caught out one more time in the same spot.
Yeah, no more going over there.
You got to take notes.
There's pesticides over here, homie.
Exactly.
You got to stay away from that.
Got to take notes. Okay, I've died twice in the same spot. Adapt and adjust. Do not die there again.
No, those are...
Don't even do it. That joke has been going on since the best was on Dignitas.
Yeah, dude.
That, like... Oh, I said something that happens to be a player
That's
name.
been going on since Best was on Curse.
Oh, wow. And that's... All players now have to create names from the ground up, so we never run into that joke again. That's what we need to do.
That's why Words is like, I can't stand this anymore. I'm changing to Stormy. And Vishim's sitting there like, got him. They can't even say my name right.
Yeah. Nowadays, I think he wants it Vedium.
I don't care. I actually purposefully said his name like 7 different ways in the last game, just to see if I could make him mad in the interview.
Did you succeed?
No, he didn't. I don't think he even noticed. He was playing the game.
Good catch from Khepri, but no one really to follow up. Isis a couple of steps behind, so nothing coming out from there. Next engagement likely will happen in the mid lane. It's just a matter of when.
Good wave clear coming out from Isis. It's one thing she always brings to the table. Yeah. There's nothing you can really mess up there. You just throw the wing gust down the middle of the lane. Now seriously, Delta Marine, is that actually War Machine?
No. I don't know who it is.
It has to be someone. There's no way Eager just picks up a person who's homegrown Xbox without them being phenomenal, and I have not heard this person's name yet.
It's so rumor has it that it's unrelinquished.
Oh, it's Omri. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Caught out is the Sobek. Not going to be. So, I mean, a lot of times what happens is, actually it does cost money to change your name in Smite, but it's your entire Xbox name. So
yeah.
Name changes, as far as that concerned, are a little slower. When we see players switch from PC to the console scene, we constantly see the different names.
So far, so good here for the Cog Boys. A pretty decent lead. Little under 2,000. Should be a bit higher than that as just barely Dwurst gets away from that attempt. Baby putting the work in.
Damage coming out onto Cog's duo lane, and the respect from Eager onto the damage that Habwa is able to deal. Very important. You can see just how fast AirCougar was to dash out of there.
By the way, that was a really important win for Vamana. I didn't even notice, but the teleport is already down for Dwurst, so he's going to slowly walk back to lane, likely missing an entire creep wave. Given the fact that he's already down a level and a fair amount of gold, he can't really afford these losses. Trouble, and a very good responsive ult from Freya to save his own life.
I like that Freya tried to hit the overhand smash, right? All right, if I can get the extra damage, I will, but that was definitely a defensive ult. Respect the decision coming out there from the jungler right there.
And smart, too, because he has Sanctuary, not Purification. If Kuang got close to him, that was a guaranteed death.
Exactly. Kuang's execute goes through Sanctuary, just like Khepri. Khepri's ult. Khepri doesn't go through Sanctuary.
By the way, this is the Vamana build I want to see. Uzzy going in the Breastplate of Valor for cooldown reduction and boxing potential, and then directly into the Frostbound Hammer to rush it down.
Damage onto Paul. He's going to juke out a couple of these basics. And then again, look how terrified AirCougar is.
I'm making a face, man. AirCougar missed 2 shots that he probably shouldn't have. Purification gets used early, despite not being there for much. He's looking for an ult there. It's very clearly telegraphed. In some trouble, will hit Delta Marine. And Unri finds a kill on the return with that ultimate and still manages to walk away.
Stormy does some damage with the lurking in the waters, but ultimately the story is eager on the board for the first time. Paul takes the spill, and that's the downside of Hotball. We saw how much damage he can deal to that Xbalanque in the first knock-up combo, but if you don't find that knock-up combo, Brandon, you're probably getting knocked up yourself.
Jesus. Speaking of knocked, man, those bolas are swinging already.
I mean, he's able to deal so much damage. Top player already, 5K for the young hunter on the side of Team Eager.
AirCougar also choosing to go into Warrior Tabby as opposed to Ninja. Usually Xbalanque is like the exception to the rule with this item, but he goes to the more damaging route as opposed to attack speed, which means we're likely to see a lot of attack speed coming out. This is most likely going to be an Aussie. After that, it's possible for an Iqbal, but with this comp, it's probably not as necessary.
Taking a look at Dwurst here in the solo lane.
I love that, by the way.
The proxy farm?
Not only is it a proxy farm, but he didn't go through the jungle, which would have taken longer, and he would have not been able to proxy properly. He walks through the tower, taking the first hit and immuning the second one, and now he's just standing there. What a jerk. Oh my God, where are you going? That was, all right, that was bad, but...
Super proxy farm here.
I'm digging it.
The super proxy?
I'm digging it.
Omega's taking notes.
Advanced Omega. All right, now you should back because you are not in a position you want to be in.
Look at Vamana. Look at Vamana. He got the same lesson. Both of these guys definitely subscribers to Omega Cuties on Twitch. Without a doubt, taking the proxy farm to the next level, all the way to the Phoenix. Realistically, so the proxy farm over right in between Tier 1 and Tier 2, what that does is it allows your minions to funnel in and deal some extra damage, create some pressure.
It also lets you kill them about 10 to 15 seconds earlier, meaning you can rotate 10 to 15 seconds ahead.
So going all the way to the Phoenix, is that actually that beneficial?
It's just absurd.
Yeah.
It puts you in a bad spot. And against an Kuang, it's probably not recommended. Oh.
Dwurst has never been one to really shy away from the scary plays with that in mind. The boxing match is actually real here. Uzzy taking on Dwurst all the way down to half HP.
Dwurst's going to lose this.
Dwurst is not looking in a good spot right now. He does have the immunity. It's down already. And he's got to run. The ultimates are up.
Wait.
But from the
How quick?
backside.
Oh, he missed it! Is it quick enough? Not quick enough, but it looks like Delta Marine will be Myflin with a mechanical error, which was fixed by the mid.
Ultimately, smart play by Dwurst forces himself into a fight, which he was going to lose.
No, he didn't use his ult.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, dude.
Gold Fury. You actually got me on that
That
one.
was great.
Cog's going to try and capitalize off of the position of everybody in the solo lane by starting with the Gold Fury. But Isis is here. This could go the other way.
Nope.
Cognitive still take it.
But look at
Eager
this.
unable to steal, but the damage coming out is strong. Keegs is going to fall.
And
Stormy.
in the back line, they're still going to go for this. Wow. AirCougar doing some damage. Not going to be enough to find a kill here, no matter what. In fact, he might get turned on. No, Paul way off the mark with that knock-up as Dwurst comes in looking for blood.
He's going to hunt the Hebo. Damage coming out, but a good string of crowd control. Might not be enough for Dwurst to take out the mage, and it won't be.
Teleport? He got those? He does not got those. Wow. Okay, Baby walking in. Dwurst throws out his root a little bit early. Frostbound Hammer for that. Baby means he's going to stick to it. A little bit early usage right there on the Umbrella Ring, but one hit's going to slow him down. Dwurst is going to be forced to box this.
There's an ultimate available looking at Dwurst. So he might be able to get out if he chooses, but the turnaround is strong. Team Eager now have 3-on-1. Ultimate again from the Baby will make him safe and sound.
And
3-3.
Smart ult there, and even smarter retreat as they walk away. Jellly here misses the abducts. Wow, really awkward game for him so far.
Uzzy's in some trouble. Nice positioning by Jellly to stop the advance from Uzzy, and with no ultimate from the last time, Dwurst completely understands, but here comes Paul.
Look at Paul. That knockup not only saved his partner, but might result in getting a kill. No, Jellly finally showing up, but so does Sobek. Dwurst very low, more cover coming out from the mid, and it will be a wash. Wow. Nobody died.
A lot of damage, a lot of abilities being used, but smart retreating and intelligent.
It was good, man. Like, they weren't missing shots there.
Exactly. It's just the intelligent factor of knowing when you can and can't take a fight. Right now, Freya, I love that play. You see how Freya did that? So stuck under the tower as the support gets caught up. Freya makes sure I'm gonna smack somebody so the tower hits me.
Dude, it's a humbots.
Guys, I know 12-hour Monday tomorrow. I'm gonna punch Brandon into Tuesday. Like I'm just gonna punch him. I'm not joking.
I almost spit out my water. I'm gonna ruin this keyboard.
You're killing me today, man.
Left side mid cam's going to Myflin. Pretty quick too, I would assume. Wait, reset. No, one of them's gonna go to Keegs.
That was cute. I like that. Good use of the chain lightning to scare away the opposition.
I would have liked to see him blow that up a little bit earlier, just in case he was in front of that. But no, Myflin does not get a piece of that. Kuang not really showing up this game. 0-0-1 hasn't contributed to the determination column just yet. Go ahead, what do you got?
Zero's on Fnatic.
All right, that's fine. That wasn't great.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at bad jokes like you,
If
Fred.
I would have said there are zeros for kills and deaths, then you could have.
That would have been a lot better.
Yeah, yeah.
You're totally right. I'll work on my terrible joke game. Myflin in the right lane, looking at Uzzy. Uzzy has all his tools available. Ultimate, dash, everything in the kitchen sink.
He doesn't have much mana. He does have meditation coming up in a second.
That's what I was looking at. I mean, he's going to be able to fight this Dwurst, but he knows somebody's in the corner. Paul gets gripped out, and here comes the Hunter. Going to turn it around as Hobwa. That's really all he can do, is he doesn't have much movement ability. Have life with one ability, but Cougar, the basics are on point. Paul gets the kill.
Could be trouble here. A little bit early usage of that Khepri ult. And yeah, not going to save him. Jellly flubs another one, and that's going to be a death to AirCougar that they can't really afford.
It's an uncharacteristic game for Jellly, honestly. Jellly has really done a great job for Eager historically. Just off the mark today.
And in semifinals, right, where there's a best of one, not really the place you want to go for it. Stormy taking a lot of damage, though, as we see a rotation and a sprint coming out from Dwurst, trying to catch at the back line. It looks like they're going to take their opportunity for Sobek. Damage coming through on all forms. It's stunned and should be a kill. That one's going to go to Jellly.
Nice. That'll help out the hug bug just a little bit.
Have you ever seen Khepri's clap, by the way?
Yes.
Or
his
his wave?
Dance.
It's wonderful.
He does the Sebastian and then turns around. I love it.
How, with 2 Gold Furies, is Eager in the lead in gold?
Haba. Ooh.
How, they're just in the lead right now. Wait, what is this experience difference?
Well, a big part, I mean, they just took down a tier 2 before the 20-minute mark. The Gold Furies have gone the other way, Brandon, but
look at this.
A lot of farming and the solo lane as well. Eager's able to take out the tier 1.
Can we see the player levels real quick? All right, so Dwurst is behind. That's what I expected. Jungle, Myflin ahead of Freya by 2. Mid lane, Unrelinquished ahead by 2 as well. A point on the support and a point on the Hunters. Wow, I did not expect it to be this far in Eager's favor.
What's very interesting to me here, and I think this sort of tells the tale of Season 3, unfortunately or fortunately, is the jungle. Myflin has had a spectacular game, offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
Has set up kills, have saved kills. He has a 3-0-1 slash line. He is 200 gold behind and 2 levels down the 0-0-1 Kuang.
Farm. And Eager smartly goes right for the Gold Fury, blowing it up, and very similar to enemy, walks right away from it. Not going to take the fight, not going to bait anyone in. They're going to take their gold win, and they're going to walk away from it. Team Eager almost 3,000 gold ahead now. I'm assuming extending their experience lead as well.
Yep,
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
6,300, and the player levels, as we just took a look, definitely piling up as well. Yeah, still just looking at this jungle differential. That's gotta hurt. I mean, when you look at mid, sure, Zeus 0-1-3, not a terrible game, but homie across the way, he's got 3 kills. Okay, good for you. You should be 2 levels above me. But the Kuang Batz situation, he's trailing by 3 kills and still up just by superior farm. And we all know what's going to happen late game.
Oh my god, that purification. Jellly wasn't even in range yet. Keegs burning that for what seems like no reason. Rotating in though. Possible chance from Uzzy. A sprint burns.
There's no tower. There's no tower at all. That flip is going to be huge as Ice is likely going to take a spill here. There it is. Cog Freya one more time. Winding up on the better side of an exchange. 4-0-1 for the jungler. That might help him even things out just a little bit. But here comes Dwurst.
Decent damage coming through. Jellly in the front line might be in a weird spot. Oh, Myflin getting a huge wild storm there, but the Chain Lightning's going to do better. Detonate will do enough, and Uzzy takes to the front line, meditation in hand, ready to continue fighting.
You know, this Ravana pick has worked out. It's not bad. And the reason I say that is because I'm used to seeing, and I think Eager could benefit. Sure, they're ahead, but I think that they would be even more ahead if Dwurst was on a character that had more crowd control. We're used to seeing them on these giant Xing Chens, on these giant gods that come and corral the opponent. Hades, even.
Yeah.
And with Ravana, like I said, it's a good pick. It's working out. No criticism here. It's just interesting to see him on a different character.
Myflin throws the dragons into a wall as another ward goes the way of Eager. Trying to run away here. Are they going to commit to this? A solar flare will be the final straw that breaks the aggression's back as Freya retreats.
I love that ability coming out from Khepri. I bring up a lot of times how players' sheer presence alone can change a fight. Even if I have no mana, like just a threat of me being here, maybe I'll get mana for an ability. Khepri can do it from behind a wall. You don't even see the Khepri. You just see the giant orb, and you go, he might have ult. I'm gone.
Yeah, it's like
I don't want to be plucked. I'm
it's
gone.
Pointless for me to fight this because I'll get turned around. It's a Xbalanque at level 19. Like, it's just not worth it, man.
Yeah.
By the way, it was an Aussie. He did go into the Iqbal, despite it being a Habwa, and is now going into the chin size, which is, I think, expected. Usually on Xbalanque, though, I'd like to see crit builds.
Really?
I prefer crit, just because you're gaining power from bolas and you're gaining power from your passive.
Right.
So you're not enhancing the chin size, but you do enhance the crit damage. So he's going into just a basic auto attack build here.
Exactly, and that, you know, if we want to break it down a little bit more, looking at the hunters, each hunter has a different specialty, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the Neaths and the Onhers, it's not exactly standard. Hold that thought. Jelly's in some trouble one time. He's going to get smoked. There's a big ultimate out of the monkey. And as Jellly gets flipped back like a pancake, he's going to get not squashed like
No
one.
way.
No follow-up from Khag, thanks to a fantastic ultimate from AirCougar. That's what Xbalanque does.
Here's what Vamana does as well, but he's taking a lot of damage. His team is not following up well. They're all focused on Dwurst in the backline. The baby form is done already, and they're going to be rushing forward. Keegs in some trouble, burns the purification, ult used as well. Jellly still has his ultimate. His Hawa goes to the backline and does not find the kill, but he's going to go for it. Deltamarine's still alive.
Cougar puts 5 onto his power. He finds his second kill of the contest. That's 10 in total.
And look at this, Isis
Stormy
gets out of danger. Beautiful ult usage, great control from Dwurst in the backline, and perhaps a flubbed engagement from Cognitive Gaming as they chose so desperately to try to fight into a character who was just so willing to fight back.
You know, right there, I lamented the fact that we didn't have Dwurst on one of these large gods that's able to corral the opponent. Well, right there we see why, because just his I'm here is enough for people. He doesn't need an ability to make people do that. That's just what he does.
Myflin dodging that with a water teleport very, very quickly. Very smart, as you see him grouping up with Khepri. I like the fact that Jellly is staying out of combat right now to ensure... Oh, well, there goes that. But he's giving that shield away, which is good. Dwurst facing off against a few. 6-5 Team Eager with a slight advantage in kills. 2,000 advantage in gold. Still an advantage in experience as well.
I'm very happy that Myflin has caught up because he has been having a spectacular game. Honestly, this Hun Batz has been doing everything that it needs to be doing. I love the build, I love the gameplay, I love the thought process, and it kind of hurt me a little bit that he was behind. So I'm very happy that he's evened up. 4-0-1 ahead of his direct opponent. That's 0-0-1 by 100 gold.
And it's great because there is a very stark difference between the playstyles of each of these characters, but they both rely on levels and gold so much. Hunbot's trying to get to the back line, look for a big pick, you know, get that ult off, force purification, hit a crit if he can, and just get out of there. As opposed to Kuang, who's much more of an assassin base. You never see him in the front line. It's just, okay, someone's out of position, blink in, see how much damage I do. Do they have purification? Can I ult get the hell out?
Yeah, he's Loki. His job is to delete somebody very quickly. And with, you know, looking across the way at a Habwa and a Zeus, this is a tasty game if you're an assassin.
That is a smorgasbord of possible kills. Yeah, I love that.
This is great. You go and you look towards the 2 squishy mages and then save your ultimate for the Sobek that's never going to die. It's like, this is almost the ideal Kuang game.
By the way, you see Unrelinquished find about a third of Stormy's health instantaneously. That was crazy. Jellly, another missed abduct. Puts him out of position. He's going to be slowed here. And possibly a fair amount of damage.
Great stun from the Isis will help that out.
Dude, Unrelinquished has been really good. Delta Marine is who we're talking about. Really, really good play so far.
Damage coming out of AirCougar as Habwa finds his way into the
That's
clutches
big!
of Khepri, and he's gone! Cougar gets 2, he's got 4 in total. And what a fantastic explosion from Eager.
Freya really has no way out of this. Wingblade in hand, trying to speed him up, but they're blanking in. Another one more shot's going to do it. Somersault's coming up in just a second here, but really, where is he going to go? Oh, he blinks out.
Stun.
Bye-bye, Uzzy.
Not quite
Wait,
done.
what?
Able to find a way out.
How? He was pulled.
Where is he? No purification.
How did he get out of
I
that?
have no idea.
What?
Knockup?
I guess there was... I mean, maybe he hit Jellly at the same exact time?
I honestly just missed it, Brandon. I don't know.
Wow.
But somehow Uzzy finds a way out and just sits there and backs. Myflin takes out Keegs. Freya shows up just for a moment, but not able to defend a tier 2 against 5 players and intelligently retreats as Eager now looks to their next objective.
And a very classic throw, Cognitive begins to hold hands in the hot spot, and a giant 3-man Spirit Ball comes in directly into a huge Isis ult. Wingus coming through, just damage everywhere, and there was nothing they could do about that.
And you know what excites me about that is I always like to get excited when teams have a straight strategy play. Gold Fury leash at the last moment. Those Cognitive show their faces.
Ice Assault wasn't up. They didn't want it stolen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always like to give teams a lot of credit.
What you doing?
Oh, Freya. Oh, Freya. He's going to drop the ultimate, and he's going to get aggressive for the moment and take out the low Ao Kuang.
Okay. Jellly
Well
not in a
played.
wonderful position. Either is Delta Marine. That is a guaranteed kill here.
Stun is not on the mark. The ultimate will heal Delta a little bit, but as Brandon said, I mean, Sanctuary.
Wait. Beautiful return. Can Sobek do anything here? No. Oh, wow. Paul kills AirCougar in what looked to be a 1v1, but strangely, Vamana does not get that kill.
And that was teamwork right there, right? The Sanctuary perfectly tied it over the time for Jellly to show up and then drop the Khepri ult. Well played. And what looked like a guaranteed free gold for Eager goes the other way.
Which is good because they really couldn't have afforded another 15 to 1750 gold in the hole. This is a 3,500 gold swing that they've taken here, plus a kill. Let's go to the graphs here. This should have been much higher. In fact, you were probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of like 7,000 gold at this stage. Instead, 2,000.
Wow. Look at that. Look how sharp that downturn is. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellently played. And honestly, got to give credit one more time where credit's due. Freya showing up with the Hun Batz.
See, you know, that ult did a lot of work, but he actually missed the follow-up there.
Yep.
A lot of what that was Paul. I mean, he not only gets the 1v1 in the end, but a huge ultimate to begin with.
Right.
He controlled AirCougar's movement throughout. And I guess Jellly was trying to save Isis. He probably at this stage, once that ultimate down, should be trying to save Xbalanque instead.
Sure. Yeah. Xbalanque, more the late game carry than the Isis. Isis, though, still brings the stuns. And that said, I mean, she's double stacking, so a lot of damage on the mage herself. And there's the ultimate
That's a
on
big baby.
2 players.
Does lightning strike twice? Sprint actually coming through. Myflin getting a kill in the backline onto Stormy, should be able to reinitiate as well. The front line is controlled as AirCougar backs off, and yeah, here comes Kuang.
Zeus ultimate dropped for nothing. Root onto the monkey. Dwurst now changing targets, looking towards the Zeus. Again, no ultimate available for Keegs, so he's going to be in some trouble.
Uzzy trying to slow him down in the backline. Not doing great on mana. He does have meditation, doesn't get it off. He's trying to heal his team too much. All going right to the backline, erasing AirCougar and forcing the Ice Assault. But, I mean, it's
Habwa.
It's Habwa. You do your stuff and then you're dead.
Habwa kills as quickly as he dies. And so, although the Hunter is down, Team Eager will look directly at the Fire Giant. 50% on the objective so far. Freya's here and does not have the ultimate. And it looks like it's not going to be up in time.
No, it's done. He's gonna. If he makes an attempt here, he dies. He still almost died. Jellly missed another abduct.
Jellly off the game. Like I said, I mean, Jellly usually very, very strong here.
But very smart of Freya to walk out of that. He's still 5-0-1. He's having a really good game, but he's a level behind. His team is starting to lose worse and worse as the game goes on. It looks like Eager might be going again to the finals if they can get a very successful offense on the next push. What
a turnaround. And you know what did it for me? I started talking about it, Brendan, was I usually like to celebrate when teams have a very set play, like a strategy. That one play that happened the 2 exchanges ago was sudden. There was no plan. It was just, oh my god, he's out of position. And they just killed him, capitalized, and then unfortunately gave up the gold fury. But that's what's exciting about this team Eager, is that they're able to recognize when the opportunity is there and jump right on top.
See, the big difference for me between Cog and Eager, and this has always been the case since we've seen these guys play on the Xbox leagues, has been Cog is playing Smite, Eager is playing Smite together.
I like that. Yeah.
And the difference in Season 1 for Xbox was, or I guess we should still call it Season 2. In Season 2 for Xbox, the difference between the COG roster then and now was they had Xing calling shots and outplaying everybody.
Exactly.
Well, I don't see any Xings here. I see Freya not having the same effect on games to a very extreme regard.
Do you reckon that's up to Words' weapons to really stand up and start doing that type of thing?
I'm not trying to be rude here, but I can't have you comparing Words to Xing.
No,
Xing is a legend.
No, of course.
Words is good.
And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's no leadership. There's no shot calling. Is Words the guy to step up and do that?
No way.
No?
Words is a young kid, just like Freya, just like Keegs, just like Stormy, well, he is Stormy. Just like Paul, like they're young, they don't have a lot of experience. They haven't been doing this for a very long time. Whereas the Eager guys, they have the backing of the Eager squad. You know, Omega was training these guys, Zap was training these guys, and AirCougar's been playing this game for longer than I'd say most of the people on COG have.
Mid lane aggression coming out from Team Eager. They've got that Fire Giant. They've got all 5 members here. Detonate on cooldown for Zeus, so that means go. Eager is going to put a couple people onto the tower. One to the left, and Myflin just staying waiting for somebody to step out of position.
Did you see Uzzy there? Uzzy walked right up to the melee range of a 30% health Xbalanque and then stepped back. Also, that Bulwark of Hope on Freya is a really good idea.
Yep.
If he didn't have that, he was probably going to die.
Freya is looking like one of the better players on the side.
Maybe we have to look to Freya to get the shot calls. Maybe he has to be the person to step up.
Because, and you know, it's striking. You see him make these individual decisions. If he can vocalize them to the team, it really might make a change. Cognitive Gaming now poised for defense on the left side.
Uzzy has a chance to get to the back line again. His dash is down for a few more seconds. He walks right in, starts the boxing, but he's out of position, and he's is gone.
Cougar, one more time, capped out on his passive. He's got 30 extra power. That's basically an item.
And they're going to be walking in here. Fair damage from Freya. And Jellly's going to lead the rush in. And there's the Ice Assault as well. Stormy stuck inside. He's going to be erased by Myflin, throwing those dragons. And Freya to the back line, trying to get away.
Quick Sanctuary saves the life of AirCougar as he gets aggressed on the backside by Freya. Paul shows up, and Freya's going to help out as well. Sanctuary on cooldown for Delta Marine as well.
That bird's still alive. And rushing to the back line once again. Delta Marine in a pretty good spot for a follow-up, but everything was on cooldown there. Freya gets the kill, and a successful defense, it seems, at least so far.
With Dwurst still alive, this Phoenix might be able to fall.
He's going
Dwurst
for it.
in an Kuang. Yeah.
And here's Myflin as well. Oh, wait, Paul doing a lot of damage. They got it. Wow. Took them a while, but they got it.
Dwurst doing it by, you know what, guys, fine. I'll do it.
He is one of the 2 only people on the map who hasn't died yet, and strangely, they're on opposite teams.
Yeah, Batz, as I've been saying over and over again, Freya playing out of his mind. Really coming to play today. And then Dwurst, that's what Dwurst does, man. He just plays these warriors. He's able to really run things.
Yeah.
And 1-0 and 10 is as Dwurst as you can get as a slash line, I think.
And look at that build, too. Very smart. Doesn't go into attack speed or anything crazy. Goes into a very tanky build. Enough damage for him to frontline. In fact, what kind of... Well, I mean, Titan's Bane. Wow, okay.
I like that. I actually really like the Titan's Bane because... So, when you're in that solo lane and you've got a Xbalanque, an Kuang, and even an Isis in the late game, damage is not your job.
I think I would have liked a Void Shield, though.
Okay, I get it. The Titan's Bane allows Dwurst to do what he just did. Take out the Phoenix.
Takes out, yeah, he would have not gotten the Phoenix, you're right.
Yep. And so what it is, his entire build is just defense, 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 because that's his entire job. But when it comes late in the game, he's going to be in the front line. He's going to be able to attack that tower, whereas the rest of the damage from his teammates are going to be on the players. So picking up that Titan's Bane allows him to figure out his path and what he wants to do.
So normally I really like the Executioner on Baby. When you're stomping in a team fight, you're hitting multiple people with this slow that's also taking pen. But he doesn't have a Hunter on his team to really take advantage of this. Uzzy, speaking of being taken advantage of, gets thrown away by the Hug Bug.
Yeah, Batz is not the one. I mean,
and bye-bye.
Oh, wow. See you later, alligator. Myflin takes out COG Stormy.
And another big pull. Keegs in some trouble. Silenced, stuck, and once again will go down. A small amount of damage coming out from that thunderstorm, but honestly, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it's Eager. They're going for Fire Giant here. Now, this is never a bad call. I think they might have been able to go for a couple of Phoenixes in a fight without this Fire Giant.
I still think they have enough time to take the birds down.
Exactly. And basically the reason I bring up that opinion is because they don't have to take the Fire Giant. They choose to because it's the safer, better option.
Let's actually hover on Habwa here. There must be a defense. Oh, try again. There we go. He backed. That wasn't fair. There must be a successful defense, and it's not going to come from Uzzy. It's not going to come from Freya. It's going to come from Paul killing AirCougar again.
Myflin jumps all the way
Oh
back.
My God.
That's now Kuang. Cog Paul going to walk all the way back to the fountain.
And that's without Soul Reaver. Oh, no, that was with...
Yeah.
No, it was on cooldown. That was without Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver's up next time. That's a one-shot for sure. Got to watch out.
Yeah,
Jellly
that Sanctuary's down? That's death.
Yeah.
I want to see him do it.
Mid Phoenix is the last one here. Taken out. We'll ride along with Myflin, looking for a target.
Look at that Soul Reaver. And Stormy in a bad spot. A good ult from Freya in the backline as you see the turnaround, but
Nice.
there goes the attempt. Paul did not hit anyone with the ult. It's now up to Uzzy.
But Cognitive still looking strong. Uzzy is looking good as we watch Myflin take out Freya. 4 people trying to figure out who to land on. It's the baby.
Oh my God.
Able to deal the damage. Still, Eager, very low. 4-on-4 at the moment. Uzzy's low, Stormy's low, and AirCougar coming into the clutch. That is a hunter. Double kill for the young Astro. Make that square. Keep on going. 20-11 are the kills. Eager over Cog.
Wow. So a little shaky in the beginning. Some chinks in the armor for the current champions right now in the Xbox scene. Of course, Envy not being there anymore. I think it defaults to the second best, which I think is undoubtedly Eager.
Yeah, Eager has shown up a number of times, and that there are teams that are in the conversation to really come through and work with it. But Eager, I think, has definitely solidified themselves as numero uno.
Let's take a look at AirCougar, captain of the team, leading the Eager Xbox squad. The guy had an incredible game. Got erased a few times by Paul. I mean, it really seemed like there was a type of counter pick going on there, but he still did a ridiculous amount of damage. Was able to control that baby very well. In fact, so frightening that a few times Uzzy even walked away from him.
Yeah, and that's very rare to see the Vamana turn tail. But yeah, I like the idea of the Habwa. One, it's just odd to go up against something that you're not used to. And then two, the Habwa can literally just kill you in a combo. But
like right there. I mean, putting yourself in a choke point against Xbalanque, it's just little bits of damage that he's doing over and over and over. So he dashes to the backline. You'll notice he avoids the Frostbound Hammer. Doesn't want to get put into this random step where Uzzy's going to be hitting multiple people. It separates himself, puts himself back into the Isis ult for extra control, and then just deals a bunch of damage.
And such a you see that a lot from just the high-end hunters, the ability to estimate the difference.
By the way, did you see that silence coming out from Isis right there? I don't know how he managed to hit that right as the ultimate ended from Habwa. But it was like frame perfect. Oh, and that was the that was the scream right there. Wow, that was crazy.
That was the big one. What I was getting at was when you look at the top end hunters, whether it's Zapman or it's Paul or it's one of these guys like AirCougar, the biggest thing, and I think Reels puts this on display the best, is the ability to space absolutely perfectly.
Yeah.
You know exactly how much range you have on those basics. You know exactly how much range, more importantly, your enemy has on their abilities.
Okay.
And you see that, just like you mentioned, just staying directly outside of the Vamana circle. Very, very aware of just exactly how he can go for it. And big part of what makes Eager travel on to the grand finals.
You'll see